This is Aaron Hobson with Rhinebeck School of Music, and in this lesson we're going to learn Spooky by Dusty Springfield, just in time for Halloween. This is a really fun song because it's mostly a 2-chord vamp on A minor and D. So that gives you like an opportunity to practice your A minor pentatonic scales, or if you feel so inclined to step it up a little jazzier, you've got your A Dorian, which gives you that nice F sharp note from the D chord. All right, so I'm going to give you a couple ways to play the chord progression in this song, some nice chord voicings. And then we're going to talk about the melody of the song and kind of how to groove it together with the chords to kind of come up with a little chord melody, which would be fun to vamp on. I'll give you some ideas for the turnaround. And also maybe some improvisation stuff. All right, so what the keyboard is doing in this song is more like an A minor 7 to like a D13. So you have this B note over the D. So, but I'm going to give you a couple ways to kind of vamp on this with the chords. So we got A minor 7, which you can also play like this if you want, or like this. See, I'm hybrid picking with my thumb on the top string, skipping the A, and pulling up with these three. So I can get this kind of fun, groovy sound to my chords. So however you want to play that. Jazzers play it like this. Beginners play it like this. You can also play it like this with a bar, however you're comfortable. And then just a standard D-shaped bar chord. Right, so you can go back and forth. All right, so if you want to get a little more chord melody in there, so I'm going to play this A minor chord. I'm going to add the 7th of the chord here on this G note. So I've got this A minor that I'm barring on the 5th fret, and I'm adding the 8th. And then I'm playing a straight up D7 voicing here, right? So you get a different melody, the G to the F sharp in the melody. And then I'm going to do the same thing, but I'm going to put it on the bottom string. I'm going to go to this C note. And then that sounds more like what the keyboard is doing, right? Because on this D, I'm getting like this B note, which is the 13, right? The 6 or the 13. So those are like 3 ways you can kind of vamp on that. So the first way is the easiest. It's pretty standard. Then you can spice it up, adding that G to the F sharp, or adding the C to the B. Those are all good vamps. So we'll talk about the chorus melody because that one's a little easy. Love is kind of creepy with a spooky little boy like you. Right? So that's just straight out of the A pentatonic scale, right? And then going down to the 5th pattern here. Right? And there's a crossover pattern that I've taught that goes 3-5, 3-5, 7-5, 7. So you can use that too. So you got right. So right. So now we'll tie that into the chord progression. So you got. And then, so it starts on the A, it starts on the root of the scale, right? So I'm going to find the root up here, this A here, I'm going to do the same melody. Right? when I was learning jazz, one of the first things, that you do when you learn how to improvise is you learn the melody of the song and you learn it all over the fretboard. So this is in one place, in one octave, and then here's an octave higher. Sorry. And then we can add the chords. Go up here to this A on the 14th fret, same melody. And then I'm going to give you another chord. This is off of the A minor 7 up here on the 12th fret. And if I take away my ring finger, I get this cool A minor 11 chord. This chord goes up to 11. And then this D13, which is a jazzy voicing, coming off of this D7 shape here, adding the B note. So I've got those are 3 places where you can practice. Of course, you can go even higher. Right? So anywhere you have that A in the pentatonic scale, it'll help you really play around the fretboard a little more with your A pentatonic. So we'll do the verse too. 1, 2, 3. And here I'm just doing a C triad to a D triad, because when you play, kind of find these hidden triads, like this A minor 7, we play it like this, you see there's a C triad in that chord, and in the D you can see that there's these notes on the 7th, so you can kind of play that. So I've got we can do that an octave higher. So what I did there, after playing this chord to this chord, I was just taking the bottom 3 strings of those voicings. Right? So that makes it a little easier to grab. Play it in this position. And then in the turnaround, you can do that Jimi Hendrix chord, the E7 sharp 9, or you can be fancy and play this D sharp diminished. And every time you play a D sharp diminished, every 3 frets, you move it up, and it's the same chord, just a different inversion. So sometimes I'll go, stop, say, all right. So it's I do this. I do like a little diminished riff. I do that, which is kind of jazzier, but you can just go 3, 4, and just do an E7 sharp. Love is kind of crazy with a spooky little boy like you. And then, of course, when you improvise over this, you could do all kinds of things. Let me get a vamp going here. So you got your... So you can play this anywhere, right? Then the chorus. Right? And you can use that as a starting point. So I'm mostly pentatonic. But I can get jazzier with that Dorian mode. So I got this. Right? So you can just jam. You can keep it as simple as the pentatonic scale. Or Dorian. So that's more jazzy. So, you know, it's a really fun song to jam on because it's just those two chords mostly until the and say, alright, love is kind of spooky with a spooky little boy like you. So anyway, I hope that was helpful. Have fun jamming on that song, and I'll see you at the next one.